human rights or whatever. It doesn't apply here. Here, Sharia does still take reign. As you said, it is a theocracy. At the end of the day, we can't forget that if Sharia is a dominant force in the law, then to some degree it is a theocracy, no matter if they have, various laws for expats and other things. The personal law for Muslims is Sharia. It has to be. You have no choice. So when they understood that, then we had to take things very seriously. The only way I could resist them arresting me forcibly and taking me back to him was to initiate a divorce like immediately through the court. And as you know, again, people say, my story doesn't make sense because in Islam, you have the right to get a divorce as a woman. No, according to the Quran, only a man has the right to divorce you. What Muslim countries have done is they have added a process called Khula, like Pakistan has done this, Tunisia, Egypt, all of them, Morocco, where the UAE, where you can ask for a divorce through the courts. You're not guaranteed to get it, number one. It's getting easier now in the UAE since my stories happened, but you're not guaranteed to get it. And you have to have a very, very good reason. And their threshold
Yeah,
is very different from, a normal
exactly.
threshold.
A man can just say, okay, talak, 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 it's okay, go. For woman is way more difficult. So the
Exactly.
impairment is still there. I
Yeah.
mean, okay,
And
they
not
added
just that.
laws, but it's still there.
Yeah, they added a route, but it's still, you have to jump through hoops, and it's such an obstacle to even get that. And they discourage you at every state. So even if you do pursue a khula, they ask you to forego your Islamic rights. So they're already like, what is a woman in? You're not guaranteed half of a property like you are in under most Western secular laws, right? Well, so a woman, especially if you've got children, you're gonna end up most of the time staying because it's every part of the system is working against you, right? How are you going to fend for your children if you can't work without a man's permission? You have no authority to leave the house, then you've got no money coming in. It's, you're set up to fail.
And you don't have the right of the maintenance, I guess, right?
So,
When you
oh my
divorce.
gosh, this is the most like twisted thing. So, according to Islam, you're supposed to have the right to maintenance monthly, which is called nafaka. In the UAE, they use the word nafaka for it. Again, this is used and weaponized in the most petty way. So, for example, in my case, because from the day that I left, every
Mhm.
single day from then Islamically, technically, from the day you've left your husband's house, you should be entitled to nafaka from that day that he has not been
Okay.
keeping you. But again, if you ask for a khula, that amount can be seriously minimized because they take it as you voluntarily left. So technically, if you were in the house, he would still be paying for you. And then it was such a joke to me because I actually tried to stay and go through the process in the UAE. I wanted to see the divorce on the paper, but the judge actually put down nafaka payments to how much would like monthly lipstick cost and how much would this cost. And this is in the judgment for the divorce. Like, this is how much you're entitled to for monthly makeup allowance. That was the nafaka in my case. I actually have the divorce.
That's
So,
really ridiculous. The lipstick cost, come on.
and when you've declared things like I had declared, obviously I was being stalked for a number of months. I was being harassed. My privacy was invaded. Like, people were watching my window in my villa. I had moved property many times to kind of keep my address hidden. Then I was being followed at my place of work. I was being sent unwanted gifts to my, like, disrupting my kind of, my day at work, making it super embarrassing. All of these things were happening. There was like, some Muslims believe in black magic. There was like black magic thrown outside my door, and I had cameras installed to show the police this is what I wake up to when I leave my house for work, and none of that is on the judgment except for lipstick allowance and a
You were
divorce.
not you were basically not the victim here. There
Yeah.
was much more than victim blaming here. You were everything was the other way around. He was the victim of being deprived of his property, and
Uh,
you were the felon here for
oh
leaving
yeah.
without his consent.
I was the runaway chattel. Yeah.
My God,
Yeah.
really absurd, shocking. Okay, and how did you escape?